Well, there is perhaps no single issue that's become as much of a lightning rod in this year's Cook County primary elections than property taxes, which have soared for many homeowners in recent assessment cycles. And it has led to two-term County Assessor Fritz Kaegi facing a serious primary challenge as he runs for a third term. Assessor Kaegi joining me now to talk about that and, what he would do if he is reelected. Thanks so much for being here.
Glad to be here, Dana, with the viewers.
We, a lot of people are hurting right now, especially in certain neighborhoods with predominantly black residents. I want to give you a few examples. I'm sure you're aware of them. West Garfield Park bills went up an average of 133%. North Lawndale bills went up an average of 99%. Inglewood property tax bills went up an average of 82% or so. And your opponent, Pat Hines, says there's no way homes in those neighborhoods appreciated by that much in 3 years. I know you have put some of the blame of the shift towards homeowners on the fact that the Board of Review is giving big tax appeal breaks to corporations and such, but it can't just be that. So how do you explain, especially in neighborhoods like that, where people would argue properties, they just couldn't have appreciated that much? What's happening? What is the reason?
Those increases were unfair and they shouldn't have happened. And the treasurer has written about this, Maria Pappas. About $500 million of burden was shifted onto our Chicago homeowners because of big cuts on commercial properties by the Board of Review commissioners on properties like data centers, luxury hotels, luxury apartments. Every time there's a reduction for them, it increases everyone else's bill. So in about 2/3 of our black neighborhoods, in our 2/3 of our Latino neighborhoods, actually 2/3 of Chicago neighborhoods, bills would have been flat or down with my assessments. But because these reductions were made on commercial properties by a different body of government, that shifted about $700 onto each and every homeowner in Chicago. $700 accounts for the entire increase in Englewood, in South Shore, in Austin, in Albany Park, in North Park, in a lot of neighborhoods across Chicago. And I think it was outrageous.
But it sounds, though, your office is still responsible for the initial assessment. So it sounds like you're trying to, with all due respect, shift blame outside of your office. And I'm looking for just an explanation, voters want to know, as to how it was even assessed that way in the first place. And especially in neighborhoods where you could argue property values are not appreciating maybe at all.
Right, I can be accountable for my own assessments, right? That's the work that I do. And the assessments that we did would have led to bills being flatter down in 2/3 of our black or Latino neighborhoods, 2/3 of our Chicago neighborhoods. And that's the fact. So that when you shift burdens from commercial properties onto homeowners, it can make a giant difference in their bills. And I think that's outrageous. That's why we need an assessor who's fighting for homeowners, who's shining a light on that, putting pressure on it, and not meekly accepting these reductions, which put burdens on so many people. I've talked to so many people in Englewood who are affected by this, and it really hurts me when I see that bills would have been flat under my assessments ended up being doubled just because commercial properties got these undeserved reductions from the Cook County Board of Review commissioners. I can't control them, but what I can control is putting pressure on it, being a fighter for homeowners, and trying to make sure that cuts like that don't happen in the future.
Your Democratic primary challenger, Pat Hines, blames your office, though, for a slew of incorrect assessments. Homes being assessed as garages, etc. How much of that is a problem in your office to this day?
We always want to get better data. We know that this work is not done, but the record shows from the world's top expert on property taxes at the University of Chicago, he looked at the first 6 years of our work and found that we brought residential assessments into industry standards for accuracy for the first time in the history of this office. He showed that we saved $2 billion for the bottom 70% of homeowners in Chicago in the suburbs by improving our modeling, eliminating bias, eliminating conflict of interest. My opponent's being bankrolled by the people who broke this system in the first place, by property tax appeals lawyers, by Trump donors.
You're also accepting money from, developers and people in construction.
I don't accept any money from property tax appeals lawyers, and that's what the Inspector General of Cook County has identified as the critical vulnerability to our property tax system. You only need to look at Speaker Madigan, who's sitting in jail because he made money off of homeowners. His partners just donated to my opponent's campaign. That's a problem.
I want to ask you one more question because we're running out of time, and I think it's important because this has to do specifically with voters. What more can and would you do to help struggling homeowners if you're reelected? I know you've pushed circuit breaker legislation, which would cap annual property tax increases. That is not going anywhere in Springfield right now. What more could you and would you do if you are reelected to help these struggling homeowners?
First of all, you need an assessor who fights for things like this year after year. So I'm working with the leading mayors in the western and south suburbs for property tax relief legislation. 29 states have that. We need to keep pushing at it. That's one. Two, we've made sure that we have record enrollment in exemptions, and we keep on increasing it. We've made it easier for seniors, people with disabilities, veterans with disabilities to get their exemptions. We think automatic renewal of the senior freeze is the next thing that we can do. And of course, it's important that we not be giving these reductions for big commercial properties at the Cook County Board of Review Commissioners. So there's a plan called the Roadmap that a national panel of experts designed so that those inappropriate cuts that the Board of Review is making won't happen in the future. I'm the only candidate who's embraced more than a dozen recommendations there, and we're driving them forward every week. I'm going to bat every single day fighting for homeowners, and we don't want to have someone who's in the tank for these property tax appeals lawyers, Trump donors, that are getting those reductions that hurt people.
Assessor Fritz Kaegi, thank you so much. I told you this would be a fast 3 minutes, but I really appreciate you being here this morning.
Well,
Thanks,
Dana. Thanks to the viewers.
Thank you very much. And you can watch our full interview with Assessor Kaegi, with Mr. Kaegi's challenger, Pat Hines, on our website, cbschicago.com/election. You can also rewatch this one. And